Coco's joining us. Right? She's going to stay put there. She's pretty happy. So all you need is your roller today. If you want weights, go ahead and grab them. I'm not using them. I'm just staying off the wrists completely. But if you want a set of weights for some rowing and standing, please do so. You need a kneeling pad and or a headrest. Go ahead and grab those. Otherwise, start yourself in sits bones and just start that rocking, you guys. Zipper all the way up. Relax the shoulders. Just find your foundation. If it feels good and you want to relevate all the way up to the ball of the foot right off get-go, go ahead. I always find I start really slow with the knees bent just to kind of figure out how those feet are feeling. Shoulders are rolled down. We're just going to do some shoulder rolls. So I'm going to do a protraction, an elevation, a retraction, and a depression. So I'm just rolling the shoulders. So I'll go to the side here. It's rolling forward, down, and back. One or two more, and then switch directions. And just roll that out. So just finding that little mobility through the shoulders. When we use the roller, we do a fair amount of moving back and forth through the shoulders and hips. So just a little bit of movement there. And then go ahead and start a little more purposeful. Let's releve and lower. So now we're really coming up on the ball of foot. Big toe, second toe, third toe. That doesn't mean you're rolling off the baby toe. We need the baby toe involved in the balance component, but the actual strength or lift component is the first three toes, a little bit more weight load. Pulse it up. 5, 4, 3, 2. Lower it down. Heels together, toes apart. Just a small Pilates V. Go ahead and lift and lower. So this time when you lift, stay here, give me a little knee bend, press it up and lower it down. So it's definitely plie-ish. It's not a squat. The bum's not going back. The knees are going forward. So we're going to rise up, little knee bend. If it feels good and you want to start going deeper, go ahead. Watch you don't sickle the ankles as you go deeper. Stay strong in the ankle itself. So if it feels good, you can go right down, nice and gentle. Press it up. Just listen to where your knees will go. Go one more time. Again, just the depth that's working for you. Listen to knees, hips, and ankles here, you guys. And then pulse it up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down. Toes together, heels apart. Doesn't have to be massive, just a little guy. And lift lower. You're going to notice on this one, you really like to roll out to the baby toe. And that tends to not fire that gastroc nicely in the calf line. So kind of roll in a bit and then pulse. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Spin it so you're a little wider than sits bones. Start at the top of the head. Let's roll it down, guys. Peel it down vertebrae by vertebrae. If you're a little bit tight this morning or this afternoon, depending when you're coming on, bend your elbows to send the tush out and start your rocking back and forth. So just stay here, deepen into your shoulders. Try and untuck your tailbone. If the hamstring stretch is getting in the way of feeling any back stretch, bend your knees so you can drop deeper into the shoulder line. Right? Sometimes those hamstrings are too tight and it doesn't allow you to get down in your shoulders. Bend the knees, drop the tailbone, pull that roller in towards you or just tilt it a bit, and then go ahead and wiggle here, you guys. Look over one shoulder, look over the other. My knees are bent. I'm allowing the belly to go a little booty. Or a little loose. I'm not tightening the glutes. I'm just kind of rocking left, right. And then bring it forward. Let's roll it down again. Exhale as you press it out. On this one, bend one leg, bend the other, and start to heel toe wider. Now as I heel toe wider, I'm going to bring my chest up. So I've turned it more into a side-to-side lunging pattern now, and I'm trying to go over my big toe as I lunge, but my stand is definitely wider than my mat. Let's go ahead and pulse it to whichever side feels good for you. Put your hand on your upper quad area and just lean into that. Untuck the tailbone. Everything else is neutral here. See if you can dig a little deeper. Now, if it's in your practice to get the hand down and get your booty all the way down there, go ahead. If you don't have that much range, stay up with me. So I'm staying up here. If it feels good, go right down. So it's almost like a Cossack, right? Right down into that side. If your hip will invite. If the knees and the hips do not want to go into deep flexion, don't take them there. And then go ahead and press away. Wiggle in the middle. Just give me a little wiggle. And then start the other side. Press into it. Again, left and right aren't made equal, so just see where this will go. Feels okay, bring it down to the elbow. Still feeling good, maybe the hand can come down and you can get that butt down there a little farther. Maybe you can get it all the way down. Very much up to you where this movement's going to go, gang. And then press it all the way out. Heel toe in so you can step all the way in. Find your sits bones. Peel it all the way down. Knees bent a little bit on this one, and wiggle your tailbone from left to right. So if this feels good, you can straighten out the arms. And I'm going to look to the hip as I pull it around the corner. I'm going into the lateral flexion now in the spine. Inhale, exhale, breathe as you go. And then back to center, bend your knees, coast all the way up. This time, keep your zipper turned on. From the breastbone, lift the thoracic and the cervical into extension. Lumbar staying pretty neutral. Retract your shoulders, take a big breath here, and then glance over to one direction without your shoulders going. Glance carefully over to the other. Back to center, and with this long spine now, hinge forward at the hips. And then at the bottom, bend the knees and curl to come up. Let's go again. Hinge forward at the hips, big breath. Exhale, curl to come up, and give me one more nice big hinge, big breath. Curl to come up, stay in the up for me. Take that leg a little wider, small lateral rotation. Take it off. I'm putting it off my right foot. It's up to you. Hinge forward a little bit. So I'm not rounded, I'm hinged. I'm going to reach and I'm going to grab something here and then stand up tall and rotate open. So down and up. So I'm changing my heights large amounts, up and down. But I also want to see a rotation. So I'm taking that arm all the way to one side of the room and then all the way up to the other. On this one, stay in the up for me. Reach that arm actively. You can lean the hips out to the side you're reaching to. Big breath. And then bring it all the way down and just stir the pot. Let that shoulder totally go loose in its socket. Again, in this position, watch you're not kind of hunched and rolled, right? Bend, neutral spine, right? That natural pelvis position. Circle the other way. And then roll it all the way to tall. Bring your feet in tighter. Tight shoulders, we're here. Not too bad, we're here. Start your lateral flexion first. So my hips haven't gone anywhere yet. I'm just starting that upper torso lateral. Start the reach of the arm if it feels good. And then if you're still okay, you can lean your hips in opposition to the direction of the arm. And as you're doing that, you're just going to let that big breath happen. Exhale. Push those hips out, reach that arm, and bring it back. I always like to get out there and kind of actively hold it for a moment, just so you feel that extra little dig. And then go ahead, stay here. I'm just going to turn it an angle. We're going to change this a little bit. I'm going to curl forward. So as I curl forward, I'm also going to tuck my bum like a puppy dog, kind of tucking their bum under as I reach at an angle, and then stand taller to open my chest. So I'm going to curl a little bit, and then stand tall. One more time, curl a little bit and stand tall. And then last time, curl, but continue the sweep all the way down and just stack your spine to tall. Give a few little rolls, wiggle out that shoulder, and then go ahead and place that roller off on the other side. Bend the knees, hinge the hips back. This arm, we tend to forget about this arm because this is the one we're activating. Still where it needs to be, shoulders down. So we're going to reach and then stand right up to full and rotate. So I'm down and I'm up. Again, listening to what the knees, hips, and ankles are going to do for the range. Now that we've added the movement in the spine, we're getting rotation, we're getting flexion, and we're getting extension, and you might be getting a little lateral in there as well. Hold it in the up, reach it actively. Big breath here, guys. Bring it all the way down, settle into your hips, stir your pot. Nice and loose. Be really mindful. What is the non-moving arm doing? It's still aware of placement. Sorry, my chain is wrapped around my microphone. It's catching. And then stir the other direction. Inhale, exhale. Sorry, guys, just keep moving here. It's choking me out. And then from there, let's go all the way up and start that little side lateral. Soon as it feels good, the hand can come to the head. Still good, you're going to reach. So first of all, we're staying between two planes of glass as we're reaching. Find your breath. I like to look over my shoulder, and that way my neck is just relaxed and it's following the movement. Now we're going to add that little change where we tuck forward a little bit and then stand taller and then tuck forward. So I'm bending my knees, I'm rounding, I'm in full flexion, and then I'm lifting my heart. And that little tuck gets into that QL a little bit. One more time, stay in the down, sweep it all the way through and stack your spine. Staying with those feet in sits bones, hold your roller about your waist distance apart And then we're just going to rotate. So rotate without the ASI going, right? Keep your hips forward. Bring it back to center. Inhale, rotate. Exhale, center. Nice and tall. Inhale, rotate. Exhale, center. Draw those abs in. Inhale, rotate. We're going to do a little offering here. And center. Now rotate, round and offer. Stack it to tall. Bring it back to center. Rotate, round and offer. Bring it back up. Bring it center. Reach that. Widen it. And we're going to go into our figure 8. So bring the roller down. Down you come. As low as you want to go. From here, I'm going to spin that arm open. Go into lateral. Give me a little extension. Give me a lateral. And deep flexion as you spin around. Watch that your head and your vision is not following the roller directly. You'll get dizzy, right? Just be careful with that vision sight. So after 3, let's go the other direction. Fold one over the other, stretch it out. Any spots that are a little bit sticky, feel free to hang out there. One more time, big spin. Finish your last one and leave the roller at the bottom. All the way at the bottom, hands onto the roller, press those hips up. And just sink down, letting your head relax through. Look through your legs, drop your shoulders away. Inhale, exhale here a little bit. Get a little deeper into the hamstring stretch. And then bend the knees, slowly drift up. Bring that roller with you and just place it in front. So we're just going to get some inner thigh plies, big strong lateral rotation, but test the waters on your first drop down. If you're too wide when you lift the heels, it's really awkward. So your knees might feel a little too close, but then when we lift, it's a nice position. So go ahead, we're in between 2 planes of glass, the abs are drawn in. You can hold the knees as deep as you're able to, but not past 90. Not because it's too deep of a range, it's not. You just kind of miss the muscles. They're not going to work as efficiently if you drop too deep into them, right? So go ahead and lift and lower. A little bit of stability here. If you don't need the roller, just go ahead and hold it up. I find sometimes on balance, I really do need that roller. If you don't need it, you can just kind of balance it on your thighs. Now hold the heels lifted and let's pulse through the pelvis. Pulse, pulse, knees, hips. 5, 4, 3, 2. Grow all the way to tall. Lower the heels. Sink down again. Lift. Now keep the heels lifted and then touch one heel with control and then the other. So we're just doing this sort of lift and lower from side to side, but both heels are staying lifted at the start. Again, you don't need the roller, you can hold it. 4, 3, zipper up, chest open. 2, 1, lift both, press to tall, lower it, turn the feet forward, and roll it down one last time. Give a few little wiggles back and forth here, you guys. Inhale, exhale, and then bend the knees and drift it up. Let's start at the end of our mat. Go ahead and put your roller just off to the side for now. And we're going to start with the arms reaching, and we're going to roll it out. So roll it out vertebrae by vertebrae, and then walk out to a 4-point stance in 4, come here, 3, you got to move. That's fine. That works, Coco. 2 and 1. Go down to your elbows for me, you guys, or hands. You're on hands, I'm on elbows. We're going to go angry cat. Start at your tailbone. Roll it up into your angry cat. Big breath here. Exhale, untuck the tailbone. Vision comes up. Find your cow. Go ahead, start at your tailbone. Curl as you roll. You don't have to use the box. If you're not wanting to go on wrists, you can go on the box. Uncurl. I'm just using it to see off my wrist today. One more breath. Exhale, curl to come all the way up. Now sink back into your heels with a rounded spine. See how that feels on the hips, the knees, and the lower back? And then come all the way up. One more time, sink back. Feel the stretch. Come all the way up. Curl the toes back under, sink into the toes, and then bring the chest up. Now, if your knees don't like this, bring your chest up higher here. And from here, we're just going to go up and down. So those toes are curled right underneath. We're going to lift and sink. When you lift, I want you to add a squeeze to the bum and find a small posterior tilt. So I'm coming down and then I'm tucking my tailbone for a little posterior tilt or a scoop, or you can consider it a supported pelvis, right? And scoop. So we're just kind of waking up those glutes so that they know that they need to be part of all the party here. Go 2 more. And last one. And then hinge, put your hands back down, uncurl your toes, paddle them out, stretch that out. And then when you're ready, toes curled under, we're gonna do a little bit of our short plank here. So abs engaged, lift an inch. Hang out there, shoulders drawn into your back pockets. Let's hold 5, 4. I'm just gonna tilt my screen here, you guys. I can't see you as well as I'd like to. 3, that's better. 2, and lower the knees down. That's way better. Let's do it one more time. This time short plank 2 if you want. Lift, stabilized. Without lifting your bum higher, lift one foot towards the sky or just lift the foot gently off the floor and then bring it down. And then exhale, drive the other leg up. Bring it down. Go one more on each side. Exhale, drive it up. Bring it down. Last time, drive it up. Bring it down, keep the toes curled there, lift and find yourself in a little bit of a down dog. Go ahead and paddle out your down dog here. Go from left to right on your paddles. Push some weight back into your hips. Get those toes stretched out. Get the calves and the hammies stretched out. Then drop both heels and sink deeper into the hamstring and the shoulders. Now, if the hamstrings are interrupting you feeling anything in the shoulders, lift the heels, bend the knees, and then sink a little deeper. Abs are gently drawn in. Slowly walk your hands to your feet in 4, 3, on 2 and 1, bend the knees. Fold all the way up. Big inhale at the very top. Exhale, hands down, center heart, and we're just going to use that roller and get into a little lunging. So if you want your hand weight, grab it here. I'm going to step forward with my left, step back with my right. The roller is on the back leg, same hand as back leg. Pull your hips forward and then lunge into that front knee. If you don't need the roller, don't use it. If I'm adding weight load and I want to add arms, the arm equal to the leg in front is just reaching forward and pressing away. So yep, my knee is going over my toe. Nope, not a big deal. Watch the knee here is not collapsing in. You're pushing out a bit to find that glute firing nicely. Go 4 more. And 3. Lean your torso forward, you guys. Don't stay tall here. Now hold it in the forward. If you can, just push off and find yourself in your tall. Lower, lift, lower, lift. So I'm just reaching that weight forward if I'm choosing to use a weight. My ASIS on the back hip is staying looking to the floor versus rotating open. Pulse up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come all the way to tall. And then we're just going to drive the arm in, that opposite knee up. Watch you're not lifting your hip. 4, 3, 2, and then step it back into a lunge. So don't step as far. Curl the toe, tap your sternum bone, stand tall, drop down so your knee can basically touch or almost touch, and then pull down from the sky. So this one is a back knee bent lunge, not a front leg. Watch your knees not going way over the toe on this one. So my knee is staying in line more so with the ankle on this lunge. Hold it down and little pulse. 5, 4, 3, 2. Now stay as deep as you can. If you can let go of your roller, do so. Reach both arms to the front and then the hand closest to the back leg. Bow and arrow with rotation. Look over your shoulders. Stretch that arm out without this hip rotating and bring it back to center. Pull. Take a peek. Sweep and open. Bring it back. Can you go deeper? Pull, take a peek, sweep, bring it back. Last one. Pull, peek, sweep, bring it back, lower that knee. Uncurl your toe, put your other foot farther forward, and sink forward and backwards into the hip. That roller can just go underneath the legs. Once you've kind of sunk back and forth in the hip, stay in your hip flexor stretch. Lift the heart. If you want to bind, go ahead. Again, I'm staying out of my hip flexor stretches, but if it feels good for you, go nice and deep. That opposite arm to the leg that's back can lift. Both arms can lift. I can reach around, grab the foot, push my hip forward. Breathe into that. Breathe into that. Ignore my positioning. I'm not pushing into this hip at all. Beautiful. Now cycle the hips behind you. Leave your foot. Draw up the ball of foot and drop down into your hamstring stretch. Point and stretch, point and flex that front foot. Inhale, exhale, see if you can get a little deeper there. And then with both hands on the roller, and you can move the roller out to the side a bit so you've got some space, both hands on, I want you to take that front leg and lift it off the floor. Lift it off. Swing it all the way around. So now I'm going to have my hands wide. So I've kind of changed my hand position and now I've widened them. And then I'm going to bring that leg back to the side. So I'm going to swing it all the way back and bring it forward. So this is what will go wrong. As we bring this leg forward, we'll sink into our hip. I need you to stay straight up and down on the hip, which might mean you are dragging that foot on the floor. Right? You may not be able to lift it without sinking. So do not sink into your hip. Theoretically, I should be able to lift off that leg that's stabilizing. That same hand should be able to come off because I'm holding on a Miss America sash, a longitudinal side and an anterior side sash. Go 2 more. And last one. Now sweep that leg around to the back. Keep it here. Keep it here. Pulse it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift off the opposite arm. We're going to lift and lower. Nice and controlled, alternating cat. Lift, lower. 4. So this is watchdog or alternating cat. 3, 2, and 1. Bring it down. Sink back into your child's pose. Bring that roller in and try and round through your spine so your head touches the roller. Now, if it can't get rounded that much, post your fists and do kind of a blockhead. Maybe you can get a bit forward inflection. Maybe you can go all the way down. Maybe you don't need the roller. I can't get any farther than the roller. If you've got more rounding in your spine and can put your forehead down to the floor without lifting your butt off your heels, do so. So I can do that by lifting my ass off, but I want to keep my ass down and find the flexion. Massive breaths into the back here. Inhale, exhale, and then slowly peel that up. Hands to the floor. Let's come up using our down dog again. Give a few little wiggles there. Pulse those legs out. Move from left to right. Ignore me on the box, guys. You're just doing a regular down dog. And then bend the knees and slowly fold it up. Go ahead and grab that roller. Switch sides. So opposite foot is sent forward. Other leg goes back. We're on that nice, strong, long beam here. And then we're going to lean in and press out. If you have your weights, go ahead and push-pull. How deep to go down here? Go as deep as you want, you guys. If you can get right down there without losing that glute control and that press as you come up, that's fine. The knee's going quite a bit over the toe. That's good too. Go 4 more. If the back hip is stretching too much, bend the back knee. 2 more. Now stay in the forward, not as deep as you can go, and then reach the opposite arm and bring it up into your scale. Lower, lift. Lower. Again, if this is tough, you're standing taller and you're here. If you're okay, you teeter-totter through the hinging through the hip and then go up and down. 4, 3, 2. Now pulse it up. 5, 4, 3, 2. Bring it all the way to tall, and we're going to lift and lower without hiking the hip. 4 more. 3. Last 2, and then we're going to step back quite strong with this foot, but not as far as it was. So if I went down to a 4-point stance, I would make a rectangle with my legs, and then I come up a bit. I'm going to notice my back hip is dropped, so I'm going to lift that rib hip. Once I have that controlled, down and up. And I'm just going to push to the sky as I come up. Let's go 4. Press. 3. Nice, you guys. Last 2, and then stay in the down. If you don't need the roller, place it off to the side. If you're a little tight, come a little higher. If you're okay, down you go. Reach the arms. Pull your back leg arm into bow and arrow. Take a peek, swing it open, bring it back. Again, pull, peek, swing, bring it back. Draw those abs in, drop the shoulders down. 2 more. Peek and open. Bring it back, nice little rotation here. Pull, peek and sweep, bring it back, and then slowly bring that knee down. Uncurl the toe, walk that other foot farther forward. roller in between, and just push in and out to the hip flexor stretch initially. And then if it's in your practice to hold quite deep, lift the heart, one arm, both arms, bind your foot in the back, go ahead. Again, I'm going to stay tall, staying completely out of extension in my hips right now. So please go forward. If it feels good, go forward. Listen to your body. Mine's saying no to me today on that movement, and that's okay. Inhale, exhale. Hinge your hips back and go into the hamstring. Point and flex that front foot. Inhale, exhale. And then we're going to do that exercise where we're taking the leg around and back. So both hands on the roller in front and bring this leg all the way around. So here's again where we start to sink into a diagonal hip. Square your hips, which means your hands might need to be wider. That leg behind is just going to circle around. So I'm starting with my big toe on the floor, and I'm just drawing a little circle as I go around. The minute I notice some sinking into my one side, I will maybe decrease my range or think tighter on my core connection. Now, if you can, remove off the opposite hand as to the leg that's moving, and it's just going to hold. If you can lift that leg and float it slightly off, go ahead. Let's go for 4. Don't lean out on this hip. 3, stay straight up and down. If you need to curl your toe under as an anchor point, that's not a cheat. Go ahead. Now keep that leg all the way at the back. Opposite arm is reaching. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. 5, yeah, watchdog or alternating cat. 4, belly's pulled into spine, neutral pelvis. And then pulse. 4, 3, 2, 1, pull the knees in, sink back, and this time widen out your child's pose and pull that in. And on this one, push the roller away and get your chest as deep as you can between your legs. So now I've opened my legs into a very big lateral rotation, and I'm just getting into the stretch. If that's too deep, elbows on the roller. So my elbows are on the roller. I'm not going all the way down there. Now sway from left to right and just feel how that gets into that hip joint a little bit more. If you're feeling grippy, just stay nice and still. And then bring those knees together. Roll it all the way up. Hands onto your floor, and let's come up into our down dog to finish that off. Lift, paddle it out, and then walk your feet to your hands so you're at the front of your mat this time. Pick up your roller, stand at the very front. Nice big breath here, and we're just going to do one sit down roll. If you don't like that, just sit down. So I'm going to go big squat, do a little roll, and then sit up on my booty. So let's get some rotation. That roller's going behind. Put your hands on it, get your booty on it. My heels are in the middle of the corners of my mat. I'm sitting tall in my torso. I'm going to reach my arms out, but not to the side of my body, so I can see them in peripheral. Tall in the abs, and I'm going to rotate. Little spine stretch here, guys. Rotate. Rotate a little more. See if you can visually look to the back hand. If this is all tight and congested in the shoulder, take your pinky down, turn your elbow down, and feel yourself actually take this bone and rotate it down in a way to allow your chest to open. And then bring it back to center. Let's go again. Inhale, rotate. Inhale, rotate. Don't let your pelvis move. Inhale, rotate. Now take that bone, that humerus bone, and rotate it in that glenoid cavity, that little process that it belongs in, and bring it back to center. Let's go again. Inhale, rotate. Inhale, rotate. Sit tall, don't lean back. Inhale, rotate, look to the back hand. Exhale, center. One more time. Inhale, rotate. Inhale, rotate, abs drawn in. Inhale, rotate. Exhale, center, spine stretch forward. Tight legs. I need you to bend your knees a bit here. Lumbar spine vertical to the earth. Float the arms up. Head and thoracic, cervical and thoracic roll down a little bit. Inhale, keep it here. Float the arms up. Exhale, go a little deeper. So what I'm trying not to do is lean forward in my hips. I'm trying to move forward in my spine. So we're at the farthest lean, but my lumbar spine and sacrum are vertical to the earth. Thoracic is rounded. And then going to peel to tall. So you should feel a spinal stretch. If you're really tight in the hamstrings, you can't feel the spinal stretch, bend the knees so you get the spine stretch. Exhale, head comes down, arms float up, thoracic spine goes a little farther, arms float up. And now as far as you can in thoracic. Pull your hips to the back wall. Nice big breath here. And then stack to tall. Bring your legs in tighter. Scoop and roll your spine down. If you don't like that, just come down to sit. Use your elbows. Push that roller so you're a bit more into the middle of the room. Feet are square, sits bones, interlace your hands, a little arch and curl. We're focusing more on the arch component. If this is difficult, keep your head very heavy in your hands. If you're okay looking back in the neckline, on this part it's okay because I'm not actually doing the ab work. I'm looking for opener. Try and open your chest right over that roller and then bring it back. Go 2 more and bring it back. And last one, and bring it back. Now stay in the back and think more scoop in the abdominals, more connection. If the arch feels good, you can still add it, but what I don't now want is the looking in the neck. I need the head to stay in cervical nod. So that's about a fist difference. And then I'm going to drive a knee up as I crunch and bring it down. So I'm alternating marching here. Again, if it feels okay, I can add the arch and curl, or I can just go neutral and curl instead of arching. Let's go 4 more. And 3, start to pull in those abs, feel that core connection. 2, a little bit of rectus abdominis here. 1, feels good, the legs go straight and continue the march. If that's too difficult, keep the knees bent. Still okay, turn it into scissor. As you're doing this, really watch you're not shifting from the left to the right side. Keep it nice and strong. So choose where you need to be. I'm keeping a nice little bent knee option in my body today. Let's go 4 more. Draw those abs up and in. 3 more. Exhale, 2. And last one. Now bend the knees in. I'm going to send out my right leg. My right hand is just going to go on fingertips on the floor. So my fingertips are here, and I'm going to come into a rotational. I'm not reaching with my elbow. I'm trying to lift my chest towards my knee, and then I'm going to open. When I open it, I'm going to open right off the opposite direction. So obliques and down. And down. So if this is difficult, I could stay with a toe tap action. If I'm okay, I can push that leg in and out. Still okay, I could go to scissor action. Go 4 more. Find those obliques. 3 more. Abs drawn in nice and strong. 2 more. Now pulse it up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Holding here, take the hand of the same leg that was moving, put it on the outside of the roller, and rotate yourself to the roller. To the roller. As long as you do different side each time, you're okay. So from here, I'm going to lift up my hips and push that roller to my feet. To my feet. I'm in a side plank hold. If that's difficult, ignore the roller. Go from your knees. Go from your knees. So I'm either ankles open or stacked, and I'm just holding a plank. Still okay. Lift that leg. 5, 4, pull your abs in. 3, 2, lower the leg and lift the leg. Go for 4, lower and lift that knee. 3, nice. 2, and 1, put the hips down and pull that roller in towards you. Beautiful. So we're getting the same thing on the other side, right guys? So bring that roller into the back position again. This hand is reaching, other arm, other leg is lifted, and I'm going to go into that abdominal oblique crunch again. So I could go toe taps, or I could go leg pushing in and out. So just so you can kind of get a feel of the hand position, I'm going to go sideways here. So I've taken my fingers and I'm actively anchoring them gently to the floor so that when I rotate this way, I can put a bit of pressure into the hand and help me lift a little higher. And then I really want to open. So it's coming across and it's opening. You can do toe tap, you can do leg lifting, or you can do scissor. But you should feel the oblique or that crisscross of the abdominals. Let's go 4 more. And 3. Keep your breath going. Last 2. And 1. Now pulse it up there. 5. Get those obliques. 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to take that foot down. The foot that's going down, that's the direction you're turning to. So turn that direction, get your elbow underneath you, and then lift up and push that roller to your feet, unless you're not using it. My legs in stagger is easier. My legs stacked is harder. Pull up the hips and hold. Side plank, legs are on the roller. If you're okay, lift that leg. Let's hold 5, 4. Imagine my hand underneath your hips and your ribs. You're lifting it. We are in neutral. We're just on the side of our body. Now lower and lift that top leg. 5, 4. Shoulders into your back pockets. 3. Nice and strong here. 2. Lower it. Bend the knees. Get that booty down there. And then pull those legs in. So rollers on the far side now. We're just going to rotate. Get our feet on that roller and roll it down, going into a little bit of bridge. You don't have to use the roller. If you've got tight hamstrings, I'm going to suggest you keep your feet on the floor. Otherwise, feet into the roller, no more than sits bones. If I go too wide, this is going to be awkward when I start marching. No headrest, please. And we're going to peel vertebrae by vertebrae. I tuck my chin in. I look down to my torso. I make sure one hip isn't lower than the other. I like it slightly supported. You can go neutral if you want. You should feel your glutes and hammies turn on. And then without peeling, hinge at your hip socket and let your big part of your booty touch. So if I'm staying in a hinge, my lower back actually will not touch, right? Where my lumbar spine is. And then squeeze and lift. If I'm staying neutral, I will not squish my belly button down. Neutral means you've got that space underneath your lumbar spine happening. Squeeze the booty as you come up. Inhale, hinge down. Exhale, hinge up. Go 2 more. Hinge down, hinge up. If this is getting hard on the hamstrings, you can just pull those heels in closer to your arse. Hold it up here. Place your elbows down briefly. Make sure you're no farther than sits bones and start your marching. So this would be my bridge 2. Just a nice little march of one foot then the other. Working for you, arms can reach to the sky. Go slow enough that you're not feeling shifting from left to right as you change out that leg. Let's go 4 more. And 3. Last 2. Now hold your left leg in the air, and you can either toe tap it up and down, kick it in and out, or straight hip extension up and down. Up to you. 5. Watch the knee that the weight is on is not going out to the side. Don't let it abduct out. 2 more. Now leave the knee in the air, lower the bum so it almost touches, and then punch it up fast. Hip thrust. Lower, punch it up. Go 4, punch it up. 3, 2, 1. Both feet down, hips come down. Just push the roller out with your heels on top of it and just kind of give a little sway there. Now, if the lower back got tight at all there, because when you do single leg work, it often does, the QL gets in there, go ahead into a little rotational stretch for just a little opener briefly. Rotate that over. If it doesn't feel comfortable with your foot on top of the roller, please put it down on the floor. Little breath there. Just a little opener here. Come back to center. We do have to do the other leg still. And then shift to the other side. Get that little rotational opener. Couple little inhales, exhales there. Bring it back to center. And then pull that roller back in. Right now, that far out is going to be quite hard. Doesn't mean you can't do it. No, you absolutely can. It's just harder. So feet on top, sit bone, not wider. If I roll up and I can see my heels on the outside of my legs, I am not sit bone. I'm shoulder width. I need to have them sit bone. So if you feel your sit bone, line your heel up with your sit bone. And then hinge that up. So here we're going to do a few here of doubles. So on this one, with the hinge, open your legs into lateral rotation. Let your bum gently almost touch, and then squeeze your knees together into internal rotation and fill the inner thighs. So I'm going to lower and lift. Inhale, exhale. Let's go 5. And squeeze those knees together. 4. I'm keeping neutral spine, neutral pelvis. If your back is firing or you tend to be very lordotic, very curved anteriorly, J-Lo booty-ish in the lower back, give a bit more of a supported spine. versus, or supported pelvis versus neutral. Now go ahead and leave those knees tucked together. Pulse your bum up, squeeze, squeeze. It won't be very big. It's not a hip thrust. It's a squeeze on and off, squeeze, squeeze. 4, arms reaching is harder, right? 3, 2, open the legs, make sure your sits bones. If you need to pull the roller in a little closer, do so. And now bring up your other leg. So here we're going to our toe taps, or our hip and knee extension, or knee stays straight and we're going to only hip extension. Arms can always join the party. I can always go over and back, right? The farther my arms move away from the midline of the body, the harder the exercise will be. Always your option to add. You could even add your weights here, right? Let's go 3 more. And go 2. Now leave that leg reaching and lower the bum, powered up. Lower, hip thrust. Lower, hip thrust. Pull those abs in. 4. Watch here, you're not hiking the leg that's in the air. We'll tend to shorten the fibers on the rib hip and hike it. Be heavy into that sit. Last one, both feet on, booty down. Pull the roller into your bum. Lift your hips, get your tailbone on the roller. Tailbone on. Bring one leg up, bring the other leg up. A little bit of happy baby here. So I'm just going to drop. So if you can go peace fingers and grab your toes, go ahead. I'm just going to wrap my hands from the outside to the inside by my knee, and I'm just going to pull them in very gently and just feel that opener. My tailbone is tucked. I have a rounded spine going. I have a rounded spine. If this feels good, I'm going to start to bend and straighten through the legs. Now inviting a little hamstring stretch. Still good, want more hamstring stretch. Take the legs more straight over top of your torso instead of out to the sides. Here you can point and flex through the foot. Plantar flexion, dorsiflexion. Still feels good. I'm going to move those legs away and open to inner thigh. I'm bending my knees for my inner thigh. If you want to straighten out the legs to get a little deeper, you can. With the legs straight, it's heavier on the pull on the inner thigh. So if that's too much, keep the knees bent. Flex the foot, you'll get even more. If you can think about it, and if you can see here, I'm rollering slightly. I'm on my sacrum, not my lumbar spine, sacrum, the hard part, right where your ass is. And I'm rollering into an anterior tilt, and then going through neutral into posterior tilt. But I'm keeping it very connected. I'm not flopping it. I'm just trying to move that pelvis a bit. I prefer this with my knees bent, as I just float into that gentle mobility in the spine. Just moving posterior, anterior tilt. So when my tailbone's coming closer towards me, it's posterior tilt. As I move my tailbone away and I feel archy, it's anterior tilt. When you're ready, place one foot down, place the other foot down. Lift your hips and push the roller out past your booty. And then follow the roller up. Lovely, lovely. Let's go a little bit of side lateral. So you can choose to lie on your roller here, or you can choose to lie on the ground. The roller, obviously, it's more unstable. So if I don't like this, I'm just going to lie on the ground right at the edge of my mat. Otherwise, I'm going to come with my armpit right at the very bitter end, and I'm going to support my head with my hand. This bottom foot is going to anchor forward just initially till I can get my top leg long and straight. Now I might need to keep this foot here, and it could be bent knee, it could be straight leg, or I might be able to straighten that leg. Ooh, maybe not today. Straighten that leg nice and long parallel to the other leg. So up to you. From there, once you have your stability, lift and lower your top leg. Lift, lower. Inhale, exhale. Again, not having it in stability today, maybe you anchor that foot. So I've anchored my foot. I'm a little wobbly. I've put that foot down. Let's go lift and lower. Let's go for 4 and 3. So my foot is anchored to the floor. In 2. So this is our side leg lift series 1. And now we're going to make circles. This is my side leg lift series 2. So what I want to do is middle finger on ASIs, thumbs on ribs. And as I circle my hip in the socket, circumduction, I keep my pelvis and my spine neutral. I'm not letting it wave back and forth. Go ahead and circle the other direction. So this is all about hip mobilization. And then the torso, its goal is to stabilize against the movement of the leg. Go one more time. And then place your hand down to the floor. See if you can lift up that bottom leg parallel to the top leg. You have to get that greater trochanter on the bottom, slightly back on the roller. Squeeze those legs, holding 5, abs drawn in, 4, we're just working balance, 3, 2, 1. Straddle out your legs, push yourself up, and I'm just going to sit on that roller at the edge of it to open my hips. So my knees are dropping down. My knees are dropping down off the roller. I'm sitting on the edge. Hand goes behind, and I'm just going to lift my butt off the roller and lower it. Now, if I feel I need the roller because I'm tight in the hips, I'll keep it. If I'm like, nope, don't need the roller, I'm going to get rid of it. And then I'm going to start a bigger movement through my hips. Bigger movement through the hips. If you need the roller, keep it there. And then I'm going to reach that arm actively. Maybe I can look back over to that hand. I'm going to go for 4 more. And go 3. Open that up. Last 2. And last 1. Hold back there in that extension for me, you guys. Holding, lift the heart, stretch it out. 5, 4, 3, 2, and lower that down. Whole sequence, other side. Are you actually eating the plastic? That's great. We're going to have plastic poops. Go ahead and swing your legs the other way. You can either lie right along the edge or, again, on your roller. So once you're there, your greater trochanter, that's that bony little protrusion. If you have it straight on the top of the roller, you'll kind of rock back and forth on it if you're bony. So I have mine slightly behind. So I'm more on the side here than I am right on my greater trochanter bone, right? From there, my armpit is at the end, just so that I can find myself posted. Foot can be anchored, and then lift and lower. Side leg lift series 1. Lift, lower. There is a point flex with this. If you can imagine your top torso, your top leg, coming straight out from your hip socket, so you actually, if you're looking forward, you can't even see it in peripheral vision, that's perfect. It should be as if you could stand on it in the lower position. Go 2 more. Now, when you're ready, take it to your circles. I like to test the waters, middle finger on ASIS, thumb on ribs. And I want to push my leg far enough back to get a glute and hamstring extension work going, and then circle it forward. The forward we tend to be quite strong at. It's the back. Try and push that leg behind you without falling forward off the roller. So your core is stopping you from teeter-tottering, right? Go ahead and circle the other way. Breathe as you go. Watch your shoulders aren't creeping up around your ears. Go 2 more circles for me. Now leave that leg reaching. Put your hand down if it's not there already, and extend up your other leg. Try and get it in line with the top leg. Holding for 5. Pull your abs up. 4, 3, 2, and then hand goes down. Come forward out of this, and you're in that little mermaid position again. Again, if you don't need the roller, you can kick it out right away. Otherwise, just kind of settle yourself into the position. Hand goes behind the roller if you're using it. Start that first little lift and lower. Feels good. Kick the roller out from behind you, and then lift. Still okay, you can add that active reaching of the arm. The active reaching. Lift the hips. Try and really open up those hips in extension as you go through it. Go for 4 more. And 3. Beautiful, you guys. And 2. You've got it. Now hold up here in that big extension. Lengthen it. 5, 4. Zip up those abs. 3, 2, and down. Beautiful. We're going onto our bellies for a little bit of extension work. So go ahead. Roll onto your tummy. Legs laterally rotated, open as comfortable. Hands can be into your forehead, right? So when I lie my head right down, if I lie my head down without my arms, my neckline is slightly tilted forward, which actually is not neutral in neck alignment. So if this is difficult, having a small pad underneath your head is actually more neutral in the neck for most people. So if I slip my hands into place, and I put my forehead into my hands, that's more neutral, right? It's just a more natural position. So from here, I want you to pull your abs up, get your legs in parallel, open as comfortable. So adducted, but open as comfortable. Squeeze your glutes, and I just want you to lift your lower legs, lift the legs, not your lower legs, lift your legs, period, and lower them. double leg lift. So I'm squeezing my glutes, my upper torso is nice and calm, my head is resting into my hands. I'm just going into a little extension through the hips as I draw my abdominals up off the floor. There's not a lot of pressure into your chest here. Let's go 2 more because your hands are supporting some of it. Now keep your legs lifted, and I want you to lower one leg a little farther than the other, like swimmer legs, and then switch. So I'm doing scissors, but in extension. So it's 1, 2, it's slow. Now if the upper torso is feeling good, get your head off your hands. Still okay, bring your hands to the side of your body, but I'm still resting them. If I'm still okay, my hands are coming off. Now my thoracic is a small extension happening, and my cervical. If I feel I could get more, I'd lift my chest a little higher and freeze and hold there. So now I've got a longer length in the upper torso going. The neck's not having it, get your head on that pillow. Let's go 4, 3, just legs, 3, 2, 1, hold both, place the hands down, press back, find your little child's pose here. Push back into your hips, round your spine, whatever feels natural. Inhale, exhale, your knees can be narrow, they can be wide. You can be up into 4-point stance doing cat-cow. Recovery's yours, you choose it. Little inhale, exhale, and we're gonna come back down into swan. I am not going to use my wrist on the roller for the example here, but I'm going to show it to you tall. So imagine I'm lying on my belly in swan, right? So my face is down. My hands would go quite high up. I'd be on my elbow. And then in swan, I'd roll up using the roller and then roll it down. You've done this one with me before. My hands in that position is not going to happen today. So if it feels good, you can use that roller right here. And you use that to bring yourself up. It's more aggressive on shoulders and neck, right? Otherwise, my hands are here. Elbows are down, legs are laterally rotated into the corner of my mat. My abs are engaged. I'm gonna push into my palms, push the marble with my nose. Imagine a hand underneath my torso. I'm gonna lengthen into my extension. Nice big breath here. And exhale, lengthen it down. Choose the roller if you want. Beautiful, you guys. I'm glad to see everyone kind of choosing their options today. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, push that marble. Creep the shoulders into your back pockets. Lengthen it up into your swan. And lengthen it down. Let's do it one more time. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, go ahead and lengthen it up. Stay in the lengthened up. Shoulders down. If you're okay with this, look over to the right, bend your left heel into your tush. Glider 2, bend that knee, foot comes in. And then lengthen it long, lower it down. Glide it all the way up again. Look to the other side, heel to tush, big breath. Lengthen it back out. Lengthen it home. Last one, come up to the center. If your back's okay, both heels, knees bend, and your heels come into the tush. Yes, beautiful. And then lengthen it all the way out. Push back into your child's pose or into tall sit, depending on what feels better. Hi, belly. Nice big inhale, exhale. And then slowly come out of that. We're going to lie long on our rollers. Let go, off. Go get it. We're going to lie long on our rollers. If you have the weights, you can use them. It's really nice to open up the chest. Sometimes, especially anyone who's arthritic, in the shoulder area, this would be more so for now. A little bit of weight causes you to stay a bit more active in the joint. And anyone arthritic, that's a good thing. Because we tend to just kind of drop into the joint. And in an arthritic or a degenerated or any issues going on in the joint, we don't want to just drop into it. So the weight just keeps us a little more aware. So we're going to lie that down nice and long, and then find your feet in sits bones. My elbows are flirting down. If I need my hands down, they can be, or they can be wide, or just the elbow touching. From here, find yourself in a neutral spine, and then bring both arms up. So if you've got the weights, that's great. We're going to open to feel connected, but not just a floppy stretch, and then bring it in. So neutral spine, neutral pelvis. And we're just moving those arms to open and close. This is just great stabilization work. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. One more time. Inhale, open. Now keep it in the closed position and snow angel, arms over the head, as far as you can go without losing your connection, and circle it down and around. Inhale, as the arms come over the head, be very mindful of a rib pop here. Ribs stay down. So when we talk about the spinal positions, the neck, cervical, has an anterior tilt. Circle the opposite direction when you're ready. The neck has an anterior tilt, which means you should feel space between the top of your head and your shoulders. The thoracic spine has a posterior curve, which means you should feel it quite firm to the roller. The lumbar spine, kind of where your belly button is, 5 vertebrae right there, they have an anterior curve. They should be slightly lifted. And the sacrum should be strong and down. Put your elbows down. Find a slightly supported spine now. So I've taken that little space in the lower back and I've squished it down a little. Don't make it aggressive. And then knee fold one leg into tabletop and bring it down, marching. Knee fold the other. Bring it down. So just get this marching action going on the legs. Watch the foot that's staying on the floor didn't now just go way out to the side to help you stabilize. From here, keep both feet down, bring both arms up. I'm going to open my arms to the side slowly and just lift one heel. See if I feel stable. And that heel will go down as my arms come back up. And then the arms are going to open on an exhale, and then the heel lifts. Do it in that order. It makes a difference. And then bring it up. Now, if you're saying stable, as you open the arms up, lift a heel and then drag that foot all the way up. So now we only have one leg on the ground. And then bring it back up, and then switch to the other side. Do this slowly. We're not changing the curves of our spine. What will tend to happen, just keep alternating here, you guys, is your body will go into hip hikes. So the leg that's lifting, that hip will want to come up towards your ribs. And you need to take that sit bone and send it away. How do you do that? You tighten up the opposite rib hip connection to stabilize the opposite side of the pelvis. So people always think, oh, this is my weak side. Well, actually, it's probably your stabilization on the opposite side that's weak. That's not letting you do the march. Zipper up those abs, do it 1 or 2 more times. Remember, you could just do a heel lift if you want, or leave an arm down. Beautiful. And then leave those arms reaching down by your sides. Give, feet are down. Cervical nod, roll up, and look to your knees. Pull your abs in. You might have flattened out your back a little bit. I'm okay with that. And then roll it down. Take your arms over your head. Don't let your rib pop. Inhale as your arms come up, cervical nod. Exhale, roll. And if you're okay with this, as you rolled, you're going to straighten one leg out, or maybe just lift that heel. And then the foot goes down as you roll it down carefully. Let's do it one more time. Inhale, cervical nod as the arms come up. Exhale, as you roll up, you're going to reach that leg actively or just lift the heel. Inhale, keep it here. Exhale, roll it down. We're going to do it one more time on each. Inhale, cervical nod. Exhale, roll and reach. Nice big breath to hold this. And then roll it down. So this is kind of like our ab prep. One more time, except we are lifting a leg and we're challenging the balance just a little bit more. Nice big hold here. And then go ahead and roll everything down. You're just going to move that roller off to the side as you roll off or peel your body off one way or the other. Doesn't matter which way. Take that roller into your neckline. If your hair is in the way, pull it up. And I just want you to let this go into your occiput. So it's causing my chin to tuck in, to expose the lower part of my head, where the bottom part of the cranium is, where your occipital bone is. If I tuck my chin in, just go side to side, I'm getting the attachment of the upper traps and a bit of levator there. Rock that left and right, see if there's any tension there. Couple inhales, exhales. And then knee fold one leg, knee fold the other. Use your legs to assist you in your roll up. We're going to swing those legs around, come into your down dog position again, you guys. Go ahead, once in your down dog, play a little bit with your feet. Push one foot, push the other. Inhale, exhale, and then slowly walk your heels or your hands in towards each other. Slowly peel all the way up. Nice big breath at the top. Exhale, hands down, center heart. Let's go the opposite direction. Open it up. Bring it all the way around, a little roll of the shoulders, little no in the neckline. Nice big breath here, you guys. And we are done.